So this is a brief video on what the project E17A7 has done throughout its working. So this a small project requirements is that basically we want to develop code so that we can do bidding for both project teams as well as conference paid reviews, and there were subsequent images, like for example, uh, we wanted to calculate the score for every topic for every user, and that we wanted a balanced assignment of topics in the case no review has been for any topic, and to distinguish between project topics and conference topics. So let's go down here and we straight off jump into what changes we have done here. So initially, so the first change we have done is method refactoring. So initially when we got the lottery controller, we got one big method which around 50 lines. So we have now changed that, and I can show you the changes. So right now if you see, you can see that we have one method. This is roughly, you could say, around 20 lines. Then you have another method, run to conference bid assignment, and that is also roughly around 20 lines. Then you have another method, generate score list, that is also around 20 lines or so, and then you have other. So basically point is that we've divided this lottery controller code into many methods, roughly around 20 lines, so that each method can fit on one screen without like having to scroll up or down. So the second change that we've done is made this new assignment type. Basically right now the existing code has only one type of assignment, and that is for project assignment. But right now what we are doing is like creating a new type of assignment, conference, which has a different way of being bid on and being assigned to, and hence what we see is that you must create. So what we decided to do was we decided to create an inbuilt column in the database of expertise so that we can easily distinguish between the two types of assignments, and that is done using a new column named is conference question mark in the assignment table. It's a boolean, and it if it is false, it means it's a traditional project assignment. If it is true, then it's a conference assignment. The migration is as follows. We can also look at where the code was changed. As you can see, we have added this migration over here, and also in the assignment view, when we are asked to create an assignment, we have also added a small code fragment for selecting or deselecting a checkbox just for this purpose. Then the third change that we have done is add a new bid object model. Now this was based on something in the code which like was being hard coded. So what was the requirement was that we are just assigning the bids on the basis of ascending order of score list. So we were just arranging score, the topic corresponding topic ID, and the corresponding team ID of that bid in one big array, and that is obviously some hard coding, and that's not what we want. So this time what we did was we created simply a new bid object model to save this information, and so that what we do is we create the new information as part of these bid scores, and then we just make all the objects of bid score in the ascending or descending order. So then the objective is that we don't have a hard coding, instead it's an object by object. So this is what we've done, and we can also show you where we've done it here. So you can see over here we have added this code here in the GitHub, and also we can also show you, as you can see, we are using this new bid score in the code of the rotary controller. So that's the third change. Then let's go for the fourth change. Now what or original approach was that we could form teams for project assignment, but we could not form teams for conference assignments. So we decided we already had the functionality, why not just do it? So basically, our code has been structured into two components. Part A is to form teams, and part B was simply to assign topics to these teams or the individual reviewers. So what we decided to do was we simply also added the code so that part A now runs for both conference as well as normal project assignment. So right now the code has been modified accordingly so that now even conference reviewers can be assigned to teams. The fifth one was a conference slot variable. This is basically that conference slot variable was already existing in conference slot. Here means assignment slot. So every assignment topic, when an assignment is created and an assignment topic is being created, it had a variable called slots, which meant that the number of users which could be assigned this particular topic assignment. So we are now using that existing variable in our code such that this should never go below 0. We are always checking for this condition, and this is being done in lottery controller in this particular section. So I will discuss that in the after doing the next feature as well. Now the next feature is balancing of assignment of topic to reviewer. So obviously in the case in which every reviewer has specified his preference, you cannot balance. It might happen that some topics are not assigned at all, but that's up to the reviewers and their preference list. But in the case some reviewers have not specified a preferences at all, it was suggested that the assignment be done in such a way that all the topics are assigned in such a way that, roughly speaking, we have that every topic is assigned to roughly the equal number of reviewers. It may be that one topic may be assigned to one less, but the objective was that roughly they should be the same number. So we did a big code change for that, and for that what we objectively stated, it's given slightly above in the design change here in this section as well, in change this section. So what we basically discussed over here was that the only two ways that assignment could be unbalanced is happening if A, the number of teams is much greater than the number of topics, or two, the number of topics is much greater than the number of teams. So for uh, so negate this, we see, as the original requirement was that the number of topics not be greater than a certain number, and the number of teams getting a number should not get more than a certain number of topics. So what we did was we modified those two constraints by defining two new variables. Now for topics, this is a new variable we have defined, and for teams also uh, we have defined a new variable here. So basically so as you can see, for teams also we have defined new variable here. So basically what we are doing is we are ensuring that for both cases, if say that the number of teams is more, we will purposely reduce the variable by 1 so that assignment become more balanced. And obviously the last change was use of latest expertise code base, and now we are using the latest.
Hi, this is Satvik, and I'm going to continue the video by demonstrating the changes using the expertise. So thank you, Bikram, for explaining all the changes which we made. Uh, Let me continue with the video by demonstrating the balancing of assignment of topics to reviewers. So this scenario came up when we were explaining the manual testing which we have done previously. During our demo, there was a scenario of users having no preferences at all. So in this scenario, we just start assigning the students which come up first to the first topic which is available for assignment. So due to that, you can see here test 4, test 5, test 6 were the first three topics, and the first three users 41, 42, 43 were assigned to these topics, and the last user 40 was assigned to only one topic, three different topics, and but it was just one user under those three topics. So Ferry suggested that it would be great there would be a balance in between the teams which gets the topics. So as Bikram explained the formula and the code change which we did for that, let me demonstrate the change, how it will run in the same scenario with the new code. So to demonstrate that, I created a test 8 assignment, and this test 8 assignment has 6 different topics similar to the previous one which we showed in the video. And there are 4 users starting with 6 5 who doesn't have any weights at all, 6 6 6 7 and 6 8. The same for all the users where they don't have any preferences at all. So let me run the assignment for in this scenario. Clicking on the run intelligent assignment button. It's successfully completed for that test 8 assignment. And let me go to the edit page of the test 8 where we can see the topic team assignment. Go to the topic section. Here we can see that unlike previous case, here each topic got only 2 topics were assigned to each topic, and continues for all the topics. Similar to that, instead of 3 teams getting assigned to single topics. So this is how balancing is done. So let me show the difference between here. 3 users were assigned to each topic since the limit is 3 over here, but over here, though the limit is 3, the only 2 topics were assigned to just due to just because we need to balance the topic assignment, the team assignment to the topics. So yeah, that's it for the balancing of assignment of topics. Now I'm gonna explain about the forming teams even for the conference reviews. Previously we assumed that team size should be 1. Now that we got the clarification, it can be of any size. We updated the code accordingly. And to show the demo how it works, I created a test assignment 11, which it has like 5 topics in it, and there are 4 users inside that. One is topic 1, and topic 2 is the bits for student 1645, and 1646 has 2 and 3, and 47 is 4 and 5, and 48 is like 5 and 4. These are the 4 users in the assignment with their own biddings. And let me run the test 11 run intelligent. It's successfully completed for test 11. Now let me go to the edit page of the test 11 where we can see the topic team assignment. Under the topics tab, here we can see the team formation between the users 1645 and 46, and 1647 and 48, and this is the topic assignment for all these 2 teams over here. Okay, that's all for the forming teams for conference review. Now I'll explain about the test class which we wrote for the 3 different scenarios. I even updated the wiki page with the manual testing, all the steps and process how to do the manual testing, and updated the automated test case for the 3 different users where when all the reviewers submit their preferences, when there are no preferences at all, and when few have and few don't have, like the mixed scenario. So this is the lottery controller spec. In this I created 3 different assignments to work on the 3 different scenarios which I showed just now. So I created few participants, and the users are those participants in that assignment, and I created teams and topics, all the test data with the proper assignment ID and max users, and then I created a assignment for with ID 1 and the teams which I created above, and also the topics which I created above along with the participants. So all this the test setup is to run the first scenario, which is like where everyone has their bits or preferences, and this is the test data for second scenario. It's almost similar, but there is a slight change in the test data which we will see in the test case. This is the uh, this is like just creating the data required for the to run that particular test case. And similarly, I created a third assignment which is for the next scenario with different participants and different participants, teams, and topics for each assignment. Now let me go down where I'll show the test cases which I wrote. So this is a test case where all teams have preferences, and I created few bits with a particular team ID and topic ID and their priority, and I also created the where clause conditions for the bit table in the lottery controller spec. Whenever we call the bid or with a team ID and bid where with the team ID and topic ID, we need to return the bits of that particular team when the team ID is the only one parameter. If there are both parameters, then I'm showing the bid priority as well. So this is all the test step. Then I expect that I know what that each team gets for this. So now I know all the expect statement for these particular teams based on the bids. So I created the test data for the sign up teams as well, where I marked the sign up team with the team ID and the topic ID based on the bids and the priorities which they gave. And this is the set for the first assignment, and set 2 is for second assignment, and so on. So let me go back to the second case where no teams have a preference at all. So over here, even if they try to access bids for there won't be any bids, and we won't return any priorities as well. But still, we will assign the teams to topics based on the base code. Here we expect the teams assignment to their particular topics, and this sign up team is marked above, which I showed over here previously. So there's a second set of the test case where there are no preferences at all, and there's that case where few have preferences and few don't have preferences. Over here there are few bits like bit 5, 6, 7, right? And there are no bits for team 7. So this is a mixed case with having few bits and few no bits. And similarly, we don't return any priority for that particular team ID 7 because there are no bits at all, and we can expect it with the signed up teams mock data which I created above. Here is the sign up team mock data based on the bits which they created. Thank you. That's all from our side. We hope we covered all the changes which are requested. Thanks a lot.